Welcome to December 1st. I'm having a lot of fun talking to you while I'm standing. This is a terrible angle, one sec. December 1st, we're here. It's snowing, finally, for the first time. It's not really sticking to anything, just a little bit, mostly roofs. And I started reading new books. First of all, I went to the bookstore today and I bought myself Our Violent Ends. I'm very excited. Chloe Gong. This is the sequel to These Violent Delights, I think is what it's called. Anyways, it was amazing and I loved it, so I'm excited to read the next one. I probably won't get to that till like the new year, but you know, I have it. I have decided a plan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read one ebook, one physical book, and one audiobook at the same time. And that's what I'm going to limit myself to, is 3 books, other than my buddy read, which I will get to eventually. I have 6 books for sure that I want to finish this year, and possibly 2 more added on top of that, just so that I fill out my bullet journal and with the spaces that I have, and it will look really cute. I have also decided what I'm going to do with the rest of my bullet journal, which is really fun. But I'm gonna have 3 books on the go at any given moment. The one that I started today as my ebook, which I was reading on the train, don't hate me for, is The Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I have decided that I know we don't want to read problematic authors, and I acknowledge problematic as fuck. Terrible person, terrible human being. However, I have already bought the books and I own them, and I cannot just get rid of something without reading it. And I genuinely do want to read it because I never read it before. It's a huge part of everybody's childhood, and I'm just gonna do it, and I will not give it a rating. I will not talk too much about it. I'm just gonna say that I read it because I own them and I want to go through them before I throw them out or whatever. But I spent money on this years and years and years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, and I want to read them. So I'm gonna read it, and that's all I'm acknowledging, is that I'm reading this as my ebook right now. It is really small. I'll get through it eventually, but also it kind of looks really pretty. Like, I like the green and the pink that are going on. Very nice. The physical book that I would love to show you right now is From Blood and Ash, with the cutest bookmark you ever will see. It has my name on it. Ooh, I'm gonna put this like this so you can see it. And a quote from Kiki's Delivery Service. I just thought you all would enjoy that very much, so I'm using this as my bookmark because it came with the book. Wink wink. I'm laughing, it's an inside joke with myself. The people who see it will know. Anyways, so I'm gonna go start this actually right now. I'm gonna go do my Animal Crossing stuff that I need to get done for the day, and then I'm gonna start reading this. And I'm very excited. I've heard many good things. My best friend loves it. It's spicy. I have been waiting since literally my birthday to read this, but I've been putting it off until I need to like really feel better. And now I need to feel better because I'm sick. The audiobook that I will start probably Friday or Saturday is the last reread that I'm doing for 2021, and it is Reunited by Colleen Hewitt. This is the last book in the Reawakened series. It's an Egyptian mythology series that is not 100% aligned with Egyptian mythology, but I really love the love story and the adventure and the places that they go. Just saying that, I acknowledge that this is also problematic, but I really like the story, and it's gonna make me feel better, so I need something that's gonna make me feel good. So that's what I'm reading right now, or what I'm gonna read right now. But Animal Crossing and From Blood and Ash to start off the month, and it's gonna be a fun time. I'm actually very excited. I have some good stuff, I think, for this month to read. Nothing that is like, oh, I'm gonna throw out this book today after I'm done it, so hopefully good things. Well, I have to film that all again. I love when my camera's like, you haven't filmed in a while, so that 2 minutes that you just talked, we're not actually filming that. We're gonna delete it immediately. Don't know why it does that. Kind of irritated about it. Whatever. Today is December 11th. I am having a good time because I had to do my last 2 assignments last night, so I only have 2 finals to go on Monday and Wednesday, and I'm not concerned about them at all. They're gonna be super easy. I like both the topics. I learned shit. It's gonna be good. But we're here to talk about my reading. Since I have been kind of just working and not really going to class because it's just been like final projects and stuff and I never really need to go, I haven't really picked up my ebook, so I'm still on chapter 5 of Prisoner of Azkaban, which is 56 pages in. not upset about that. I'll get to it eventually. Other than that, I have been really enjoying an audiobook, which is Reunited. I am on chapter 13, which is page 174. This one I've been listening to while I have been painting, which is a project I will show you guys at the end of this vlog and in my 2021 wrap-up, which more people are likely to see. Maybe I'll show you some of my painting in like the next clip or something, but it's a really fun project. I'm having a good time. The other thing that I'm kind of slow burning, but also reading in the middle of the night when I'm stressed and I can't sleep, is From Blood and Ash. This one is really good. I'm exactly 50% of the way through. That's where it's at. I'm low-key like breaking the spine a little bit, but I'm not upset because it's really good. I'm on chapter 21, page 307. I'm like literally enjoying this so much. I cannot describe to you how much I love this. This book makes me really excited for me to read a bunch of fantasy next year that I have on my shelf. I've kind of picked out stuff that I want to read next year, and this is making me really excited to get to it. It's also making me really excited if I get any gift cards for Christmas, because I'm going to buy the rest of this series. That's the whole plan. But that's my reading update. My plan today is to edit videos because I want to start uploading again next week. On Tuesday and Thursday is what I'm thinking. And then I want to play Animal Crossing. I had a dream last night about flowers because I'm planting flowers, and I found this guide that was way more helpful than the one that I was using previously, and hopefully it's gonna go well for me. So that's the plan. Other than that, I don't know. We're good. That's what's happening right now. So I'll check back in with you later, maybe some painting inserted here. We'll see.
Lightroom Spooky Room. This looks really funny. I don't like this angle. I look like this because I was wearing a toque. Toques are very hair destroyers and forehead markers. But I just got home and I finished 4 books this month so far. So I'm gonna share that with you. And then we'll get on to what I'm gonna read next. I actually finished one of these books today. But anyways, the first book that I finished was Reunited. I can't remember if I told you guys that I finished this, but I gave it 4 stars. It was my last reread of the year. I loved it. Very fun, very fantastic. Went a lot faster at the end than I remember it being, but it was really cool. Next, one of my favorite reads this year, one of the last ones I think. This might end up being the last one, but anyways, From Blood and Ash. I forced myself to read this really slowly, and I'm glad that I did, mostly because I kind of started it when I was still in school. Does this feel like a weird angle? Ooh, it feels like a weird angle to me. Anyways, oh, okay, that's a bit better. But reading this slowly was beneficial, I feel like, because I loved it. 5 stars, amazing, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend this read. So good, and so good that I had to start the next book, and the next book immediately continues on right after where this one finished. So I love that, and I listened to about 200 pages of the next book because I don't own a physical copy yet, but I will get there. The next book I finished last night, and I gave this one 4 stars. I was debating, like, at one point this book was like 1 star, one point it was like 2 stars. It just kind of like jumped all over the place, but it is The Sorcerer Heir by Cinda Williams-Chima. So I ended up giving it 4 stars. I'm just weirdly happy that I'm finally finished with this series. I'll say that. This one, we finally got a lot of answers and there was a lot of conclusion, which I very much appreciated, but I'm kind of over it. And I should have finished it back when I started the series ages ago, but I just never got around to it. So I'm just like, I'm over it, whatever. I did it, it's done. And finally today, with no rating, I finished The Prisoner of Azkaban. I will not be talking about this. I'm just gonna tell you guys that I read it. I did it. I feel accomplished. Now, today is December 22nd. We're getting really close to Christmas. Yesterday was Yule. Had a great fun time. But I have important things to tell you. Oh my gosh, where was I? So after I finished Prisoner of Azkaban today, I started The Labyrinth of Drakes. This is a Lady Trent memoir, continuing on this series. 10 out of 10, loving it, love these covers. This is one of my favorite series that I'm having so much fun with. I think this is the 3rd book? No, this is the 4th book. The last one, the Voyage of the Basilisk, was my favorite, I think, in the series. I think they just get better and better and better the more that Lady Trent knows, the more that she's got going on, the more information she pulls, the more things she learns. It's like a scientific journal of her going around the world, learning people, cultures, and more importantly, dragons. And the world that this resides in and exists in is fantastic and amazing and incredible. And I couldn't ask for like a better fantasy series to be educational to me. Like, I fucking love dragons. It's so cool. So in this one, they're going to the desert to study drakes and try to breed them, which is such an interesting and controversial topic. But since this is like Victorian-esque era, there's a lot going on. And since Lady Trent is unmarried, she kind of is scandalous and stuff. She like is a whole thing. But I love every aspect of it, and I think I have 2 more books after this one, and then I'm done. Highly recommend this series if you love dragons. It's so fun. She gets into some wild adventures too. In this one, she's already been kidnapped. Again, this is the 2nd time it's happened. Next, the other book that I plan on reading myself, I also have the audiobook too, but I might try to physically read it. We'll see. Is Artemis by Andy Weir. I've been trying to read this all year and I've been failing miserably if you've been following along. So I hope to get to this after I'm done The Labyrinth of Drakes. I have my buddy read, which I'm going to be reading next week with Claire, Red, White, and Merle Blue. We've been trying to read this like all year, but either one of us keeps getting busy or something's happened and it's just going crazy. Currently, I am on page 95. I'm on page 95, so I'm about that far through. But next week we're hopefully going to be sitting down and reading it because we both have time, so that'll be really fun. The other last and final book that I'm going to talk to you about is also a buddy read. I do not see myself finishing it next week, so I might be finishing it in the new year, but I am buddy reading it with my friend Alyssa, and she lives across the country, so it's going to be really fun reading The Disoscillations of Devil's Acre, a Miss Peregrine's novel, but I don't think I said anything in that sentence correctly, so this 6th and final book in this series by Ransom Riggs very excited. I love like the pink color that was chosen for this, the pinkish reddish one. It's very fun, and I'm excited to dive in and have a good time. So we'll see how this goes. It'll be fun. I love that the receipt is still in there. Let's see. I bought this one. Was this the only book that I bought? Look at a discount. That's fun. I saved like $12 when I bought this book. That's so nice. Alright. That's where I'm at with my reading. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. I tried to update you guys a couple of times, but it just never happened, and here I am now. I still have to show off some painting that I'm doing, which I haven't done a whole lot of painting because this week I've just been working all the way up to Christmas. Next week though, I'll have a lot of free time and be able to do a bunch. Still haven't uploaded a video. Still trying to upload videos, you know. It's a good time. Here's this book without all the chaos on it. Update you soon. Hopefully not the end of the year, but sooner than that. I don't have a reading update because I haven't really read anything, but I do have books update because Christmas was yesterday and I got a lovely Christmas book from my cousin who was my Secret Santa this year, and it is Yolk, and we've made so many Yolk jokes. Yolks. So funny since I got this book, but I think it's gorgeous and I'm really excited to read it. And the hardcover with this handhold on the side, oh my gosh, I love it. I just had to show you guys because I was like, yeah. Then I obviously got gift cards. Actually, you know what I haven't done yet? Ooh, without the cover is so nice too. Do you see that? Oh, shit. The hand holding. Oh, okay. I've just been admiring this book for like the last 24 hours or so. That's just what's been happening. I'm very excited. It's also funny because I'm allergic to egg yolks. Anyways, very excited to read that. We'll add it to my list for 2022 to read. So, but I did get a couple gift cards and I went there in mind of getting 2 specific books. And I did get them, and then I got 2 more on top of that. So I wanted to show you guys. I also got the scarf. Chapters Indigo had sales on scarves and blankets and stuff, so this is like 15 bucks for this huge ass scarf, and it's very nice and soft, and I'm very excited to wear it because it is minus 37 degrees Celsius with the wind chill, and if you don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, minus 40 in Celsius and minus 40 in Fahrenheit match up, so it is very similar to the same temperature, which is terrifying. But anyways, the books that I went into Indigo to get with my gift cards today were the 3rd Poppy War book, The Burning God, which I picked up, which is beautiful in purple. I wanted it in paperback and I was waiting for it, and now it's going to look really awesome with the other 2. And then I also got the 3rd City of Brass book, which is called Empire of Gold, which is also, I was waiting for it to be in paperback, and now it is, and now I got it. Love that. Then I was like, hey, I can't just buy 2, like obviously I need more than that. So I ended up getting the Teen Titans Beast Boy comic graphic novel. I have Raven. I haven't read it yet, but I know that I will love it, so I got this one. There's a 3rd one called Beast Boy Loves Raven. That one was also in there, but I only bought this one because this is the last copy of this. They had a bunch of Raven and they had a bunch of the 3rd one, but they didn't have a bunch of the 2nd one, so I was like, oh well, I'll just buy it. And then the last and final book I got is the 3rd book in this series, called The Grey Wolf Throne by Cinda Williams-Chima, and since I finished her Air series, I was like, okay, I can start on her other one, because I have the first 2 books for this one, and I bought this one because every time I go in there, they have the first 2 and then the 4th book, but they never have the 3rd book. But today they had the 3rd book. It says book 3 on the side, which is very helpful. I love when books do that. So I bought the 3rd book, which is really awesome. And then I was standing there, and it was really funny because I was like looking at the books. I do this thing where I tend to buy books that all match together, and I bought 2 green books and 2 purple books. And that just shows that I go in with a color scheme apparently every single time I go. But I thought that was really funny and I had to show you. That's kind of the update that I have. I got a lot of cool stuff for Christmas, but I'm just gonna be relaxing for the next week because I have the whole week off. And then January, we're gonna get started on actually trying my best, because I have not uploaded a video yet. I promised I was gonna be uploading videos and stuff, but I've been doing so much and leaving the house so much and hanging out with my family so much. I just like, I need to sit down and do nothing for a little bit and probably read now that I have all these awesome books. But I also am at a point where I'm like, hey, I've hit my reading goal for the year. I'm well over it, and I kind of just don't want to read anything for like the next week because I'm like, I want to get started on next year's goal and next year's journal and stuff, which is fun. So, but yeah, I haven't read anything, so that's where I'm at. I hope you all had a great Christmas though, because I know I did. It was really socially draining, even though it was just my family. But it was fun. Merry Christmas. I did it. It's an hour till midnight. Literally, like, you can't see that. 11:12 is basically what time it is. And I finished pretty much everything I set out to finish. I think last time I talked to you guys, I was still reading The Labyrinth of Drakes. I finished that one. Gave it 5 stars. It was amazing. After that, what did I read? I don't know. Let's check the journal. This thing is so chaotic. I gotta work on the project I was doing. Yeah, so Labyrinth of Drakes I finished a couple of days ago. It was really good. Loved it. 10 out of 10. We love getting her finally getting the name Lady Trent. Now we know where it came from, basically. Anyways, today I managed to speed through 2 more books. I just finished my last read that's gonna be for this year because I can't read another book in an hour. It's not happening. But I finished Artemis by Andy Weir. I gave this one 3 stars. Not my favorite. I think I kept waiting for something amazingly like The Martian to come forward, and it just didn't. I mean, there was humor in here. Artemis is the town on the moon, and our main character, I don't remember her name, Jazz, is a smuggler and somebody who's like one of the only crime people on the entire moon, and she causes a whole thing. People almost die, and it's a whole thing. Anyways, not as fun as The Martian, I will say that, but I will give Project Hail Mary a chance because I've heard better things about that. A lot more people like it. Nobody really raves about this one, so that's why I was like, but people rave about Project Hail Mary. So if I like that one, I'll keep giving Andy Weir a chance. If not, I'm kind of over it. And then The Greatest Disappointment of the Year, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I've been trying to read this for so long. I've been buddy reading with Claire. She ended up giving it 1 star. I give it 2 stars. This is a romance book. There's not a lot of romance. Also, I question how Alex got to the point that he is in this. He's a very angry person with a lot of mean things to say to several people, and I did not really appreciate that. I didn't like it. Not to mention, he turns Henry into just a terrible type of person, and the way they talk to each other and the way everybody talks to each other is just so mean and rude, and I don't understand why that had to be a thing. Not to mention the lack of romance in here. There are so many political issues and stuff, which I do appreciate, but I don't need to sit through an entire press conference and then a conversation with the Queen, and there's so many, too much. There's just too much not romance for like this huge ass book, so I was very disappointed. I'm gonna take this thing out of there. So, kind of disappointed with my last 2 reads of the year, but I got through pretty much everything I wanted to get through this year. Through my whole TBR that I had set up for myself at the beginning of the year, I think, mostly, which is really awesome. So I'm very pleased with that. Shitty last books, whatever. That's how it happens. And other than that, I will say Happy New Year. Tomorrow I'll be starting a new vlog. My camera is dying, so I gotta speed this up. And I hope you all have a great 2022, because 2021 ended on a terrible note with the passing of Betty White. I'm still upset about that. So, yeah. Not the greatest end. So I'm gonna go drink my wine, which is in a Strawberryta Bud Light Lime glass. Cheap white girl wine, you know how it is in here. I'm gonna watch some Emily in Paris with my aunt. And we're gonna have a good time, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I got my booster shot yesterday and I'm in so much pain. So much pain. It hurts like right here in my neck. Ow. I didn't know that part of me could hurt. So, okay. See you in the new year. Kisses all around. I love you guys.